You shifted your life physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Yet you feel lost, as if there is something you forgot or denied. And so it is that you begin exploring your last vestiges of fear. Not because you have to, but because you are dedicated to denying all that was before. We are free to pay attention to realms beyond time and space, as well as the life processes in the cells of our bodies. We can open our awareness as far as we allow ourselves. Outside of ourselves, there are no limits. How open we are is our personal choice, along with the programming in our subconscious. We must gain a cooperative alignment with our subconscious awareness. There is a vibratory alignment that opens our awareness in this way. It is when the ego consciousness is inactive during sleep, daydreaming, or meditation. They also unlock, awaken, and restore our total recall how we built stars, galaxies, and entire universes in the past lives. For many, it's a very painful discovery, as an example of one light warrioress who previously was co-creator in other dimensions. Below is a narrative in her words. I recently regained my experience of multidimensionality and most of my memory. It opened by itself and even without my efforts for it, and reminded me of huge variety of lives in different densities. I know that life on Earth can be harsh. Lightworkers have done a whole lot to seed truth and higher consciousness into the collective consciousness. I heard it was largely successful. I also heard that the lightworkers have been scattered around on the planet for maximum efficiency. That makes sense. But it can be very lonely down there. There are some light workers that are still full of enthusiasm and passion for life. May they be blessed. There are also those that are exhausted. Before your Earth entrance into this lifetime, you assumed you would open the doors so those following could enter a life of joy and laughter. Instead of claiming life in all its glory, you would be the forerunners of what was possible. You are surprising yourself in ways you did not anticipate, waiting for the good times to end, lessen, or disappear. Instead, your life continues to expand in ways you never expected. In your 3D world, you enjoyed bits and pieces of your life, but those bits and pieces were far less interesting or fun than you are now experiencing. So you wait for the good times to end, not because you want them to end, but because you are unfamiliar with ongoing joy. Even those uncomfortable or unpleasant pieces somehow turn out better than you expect or shift in ways you could not conceive. We can train ourselves to calm our ego by knowing that we are completely fulfilled in every way all the time. This knowing is our choice. It can happen by directing our imagination towards scenarios that we love and are grateful for. In every moment, there is an energetic balance of light and dark. We recognize the quality that we choose. Whichever one we pay attention to becomes real for us. Because we believe in its reality, we experience it as our reality. This all happens within our own consciousness. Along with the memories came knowledge, techniques, and awareness of the world's origin. But a misunderstanding of my original nature remained for a long. Who was I? Why do I have such powerful capacities as a natural given that are opening up more and more? Why I felt an unbearable fatigue in my soul. Why I recalled very vividly only the experience of the dark worlds, although I knew perfectly well that they were the light ones. Why my resentment and pain about them was so strong. Not once, co-creators offered me to return to my former light state, but each time strong resistance and distrust arose in me and I refused. How so? When one gets a bit down, it's difficult to find a kind space to express genuine feelings. The spiritual community is prompt to blame them for being negative or low vibe. And the sleeping entourage, out of genuine concern, is quick to offer them some inappropriate advices or solutions to their problems, without taking the time to understand or even listen to them. When things go really awry, the professionals are, for the most part, not doing a better job. Advices and drugs are given freely, but who can understand? Who even care to listen? Not only have you arrived at your new world, you are beginning to thrive. Your deeply ingrained expectations that the fear or anger will return and eventually dominate your life once again never seem to happen. And you are a bit frightened that such is true. How can your life continue on this joy trajectory? Surely, you must have to pay a price somewhere, somehow. Yet, that fear price never seems to be collected, which is frightening, because even now, you cannot imagine an ongoing life of joy. It is time for you to acknowledge that what was is no more, that those times that should be frightening are merely a blip on your emotional screen. That whatever you fear fades away into nothingness. You have fully arrived. Some of you counter that last statement with thoughts of a terrible thing that happened to you. And we of the universes respond with how much of that terrible piece was because you did not trust your inner voice, but instead capitulated to what used to be. If we change our polarity so that we recognize the dark aspect of a scenario, that's what becomes real for us. When we learn to direct our attention to the vibratory quality that we love, that's what becomes real for us, unless we don't believe it. Our limiting beliefs about ourselves are held deeply in our subconscious. Through deep meditation, we can realize their origins and we can resolve them. In this way, we can transcend our limitations intentionally, expanding and intensifying our awareness in a wonderful way. We can choose to live in a state of gratitude and joy, while imagining and seeing the light in every conscious being. When we can believe in it and know this is reality, we transform our lives into an experiential realm of beauty and soulful love and joy. This realm can exist in our present experience. If we hold doubt about its reality, we direct our attention to the realm of fear. This diminishes our life and disempowers our visions, even though it exists only in our own consciousness. A very strong resentment and sadness arise in me. We communicate by codes. It is not a mental dialogue, but an exchange of very images in form of shinning impulses, coming from the solar plexus area. We haven't seen each other for a very long time. He's glad to see me and doesn't want that I leave. He treats me with care and gentleness, but I don't want to communicate. There's a misunderstanding between us. I feel pain and rage. I see a scar on his energy body and realize that it was me who hit him in rage during our last argument. What happened between us then? Together we have built thousands of worlds, different in nature, structures, and evolution scenarios. We feel them as our creations, as our children. We watched and guided them all simultaneously with our multidimensional consciousness. We can incarnate in these worlds, easily enter and exit, going beyond time and space. Everything was fine, but at some point the infection began. 10 worlds turned black, captured by a darkness that looked like mold, and contamination from them went through other matrices. I tried to enter these worlds, find the causes of anomaly and save each abscess, but my co-creator didn't want me to immerse in them. It all started during one of my deepest meditation and journey through time and space. There, in the past, I already saw the point beyond which I didn't remember myself. I again came to this spot. It looked like a circular passage. On my side, there were black frozen swirls of dark energy along the edge of the portal. I stood hesitant in front of a translucent membrane. I felt pain, unwillingness to go further. I realized that this portal is the entrance to three-dimensional worlds, from where I returned here to the starting point, in anger and pain. Finally, I decided and took a step through the membrane, from past to newfound present. Here, the entire amplitude is flooded with a bright light. I know a lot of this continuum. My energy body begins to increase and transform. I watch and wait for the space around me to manifest. Its contours begin to emerge. It consists of endless interconnected matrices through which light energy flows. Everything is permeated with them, in the center of which shining clusters pulsate. Who can understand that we have a blazing vision, that our soul is strongly nudging us in an invisible direction? We still have faith, but for many of us, the enthusiasm had faded. And no one is able to just listen to our genuine feelings and thoughts, lest we want to be labeled as crazy and end up even more isolated. Dear Galactics, all this situation is far too complicated for most of us to understand in our current station. We lack the data to even make an enlightened opinion. But as years pass, our light is dimming, our enthusiasm is fading, our contribution is lessening. You continue trying to frighten yourself, not because you need to, but because that is what feels most comfortable. For some, your new joy is frightening. When will it end? If I do that, will my life return to fear? This life of joy can't be real, and on with doubt and needless fear. It is over. Your fear life is done. It is as if you have billions of dollars and worry about having enough money to buy food. It is over. Not only has your new life of joy begun, but you have moved yourself and the earth further along the joy continuum than even we of the universes thought possible in one lifetime. As fractals of universal consciousness, we create experiences with our imagination and emotions, and we can also transform our lives. In our essence, we are unlimited in conscious awareness. Because we have limited ourselves, we are the ones who must transcend our conscious limitations by intentional recognition and realization of the energetic patterns that become our experiences. The radiance of our vibratory presence is an expression of our beliefs and realizations. By holding our attention on the light of infinite love within our heart consciousness, we receive inspiration in aligning with life-enhancing vibrations that become the qualities of our experiences. There are hundreds of thousands of them. Each light cluster is a local universe with many worlds, separated by membranes. Here, in the 11th dimension, where I now stay, it is manifested as materially tangible. I feel all these energies, know their nature. I realize this is my home. I'm aware that outside it, there is no habitual universes, no planets and civilizations, only our construction sites and creators, and I am one of them, a bearer of feminine foundation. My body, subtle and elegant, consists of a light substance and vaguely resembles a human shape. The head is elongated and open on top. Energy flows out of it and into the matrix structures of the fields. So I deeply root it in and run this space.